Welcome back to the show. We got a great one lined up. Somebody roll that beautiful intro.
Digital Perspectives with Brad Kimes. Come on in.
Welcome back to the show. You can follow us on X, YouTube, and DigPerspectives.com for exclusive content. Right now, $3.38 trillion market cap for crypto. The market is off 1.7%. Bitcoin holding 104,000 plus right now. Ethereum holding 2,500 plus. XRP number 4 spots 216. We're up 0.8 on the 24. We're off 3.1 on the 7-day. Let's look at the range of price very quickly here. Ranging between 213 and 219. We will keep an eye on it. Let's talk about this very quickly right here. DAI and myself have teamed up with iTrust Capital to offer new clients an exclusive $100 funding bonus. Learn how iTrust Capital's powerful crypto IRA and premium custody account platforms can help you build your financial future. Kick off your crypto investing journey by signing up and funding an IRA or your PCA, your premium custody account, with the promo code below. Now, you can get the promo code all the way at the end of the page here. It's XRP6. There's a link underneath every one of our videos right at the top. You can click on it and get started. But let me just say this too. Institutional grade custody. You can roll your 401k over into your IRA. You can actually open up with small cash amount your PCA account and send your XRP directly into the account. Now, you guys know, since the first day I've been in this space, I have had my assets split up on multiple platforms. And you know I have them and I talk about them. And iTrust is one of these that I have loved. And let me just say this. I've been with iTrust, I believe, about 6 years now. And let me just tell you this. I never go look at my account on iTrust unless I want to make a change in my IRA. And you know why that is? Because I know it's safe. I'm constantly checking my balances on my exchanges that I'm on, and I love the exchanges that I'm on. But it's a different vibe when you're on iTrust. It really, really is. And you deserve to start getting the best night's sleep you've ever had in crypto by getting yourself on these really trusted platforms that can do so many great things for all of us. Make sure you click the link below and get started today. It's a remarkable opportunity. XRP6 and the website, if you're driving, iTrustCapital.com/XRP Army. That's how much iTrust is into us, ladies and gentlemen. We love it, and we love them. I want to tell everybody what a historical moment it was, that it was the Genius Act that passed yesterday, 68-30, ladies and gentlemen. We love it. Love, love, love it. This is a big step forward. And here shared by Senator Bill Hagerty, who introduced the Genius Act. The Senate just passed an incredible bill. This is from Donald Trump that he's sharing this. President Trump says, the Senate just passed an incredible bill that is going to make America the undisputed leader in digital assets. Nobody will do it better. It is pure genius. Digital assets are the future, and our nation is going to own it. We are talking about massive investment, big innovation. The House will hopefully move lightning fast, listen to this, and pass a clean Genius Act. Get it to my desk ASAP. No delays, no add-ons. This is American brilliance at its best, and we're going to show the world how to win with digital assets like never before. That's your president, and what a difference an election makes. Now listen to this from Eleanor Terrett from Crypto America. She says, I'm hearing Trump's message has sparked a flurry of calls from industry stakeholders to the Hill with questions about what his directive could mean for the passage of market structure legislation, which the House, listen to this, which the House is considering moving alongside stablecoin legislation in a bid to get both across the finish line by Trump's own August deadline. Oh my goodness. And so it begins, was one House member's reaction. Imagine this. the House taking the stablecoin bill that just got sent over and the market structure bill and working on both and passing both at the same time, and then lobby the market structure bill back to the Senate and bang, and then that goes through. This is something we just don't usually see in Congress, and it is welcomed. So let's hope that we keep that pace. Here is crypto AI and crypto czar David Sachs. Take a listen.
What this bill would do is provide like I said, the regulatory clarity and safety. It would bring the whole stablecoin industry on shore. It would enhance consumer protection. The issuers of stablecoins would have to get audited on a quarterly basis. Consumers could be confident that their dollar-based stablecoins were reserved on a one-to-one basis with actual dollars in U.S. bank accounts. And I think this would increase confidence in the industry. And I think that you would also see banks getting into the act. I think you'd see traditional financial players getting involved in it. And that's why the float is expected to grow from, call it, roughly 250 billion to trillions of dollars. And that would create more demand for the U.S. dollar internationally. I think you could see other economies start to dollarize from the bottom up as their citizens would prefer to use U.S. digital dollars as opposed to whatever fiat currency they're using. And that would create potentially trillions of dollars of new demand for U.S. Treasury. So I think this bill is a major piece of legislation. I think it's a fantastic bill just on its own. I think that the House should go ahead and take it up, and I think they will take it up, and I think they're going to put it on the president's desk very soon.
There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Let's keep moving. Lots to go over. At the same time that all of this is happening, and I don't know about you, but I don't find any of this to be mutually exclusive. President Trump says Fed Chair Jerome Powell is a real dummy who's costing America billions of dollars. Powell should cut rates or quit. And that is because President Trump knows there's a lot of short-term debt that the U.S. from the last administration accrued, and he needs to refinance that debt by the end of this year. And in doing so, he needs the Fed to cut rates. But Jerome Powell doesn't want to cut rates. So this is a problem, and it shows that the Fed doesn't mind printing our dollar when it suits them. But when it comes to helping the actual country of the dollar, Jerome Powell doesn't care. That's the real deal. And this comes back to the Triffin dilemma. When a national currency serves as a global reserve currency, there's two sides to this. You have the national security interest of that dollar, economically speaking, and security-wise, and then you have the global reserve currency position of that said national currency, U.S. dollar, and the effects on the rest of the nations of the planet. That is what the Triffin dilemma is. And when you make a decision that's in the best interest of national security or national side of the currency, it normally has a negative effect on the global side. And likewise, when you do things on the global side, it affects the national side, which screams to me the reason why we need something like XRP as a bridge to complement the current system that exists, not challenge it. And wouldn't you know, Judy Shelton shares this article. This was interesting for Reuters. Early Fed chair nomination could rattle markets. Well, you know what? One of them is Judy Shelton herself. And I hope that they do select Judy Shelton. She was submitted one time before and it was withdrawn later. But take a look at this. This is who Judy Shelton is. She's amazing.
Would returning to gold standard help the U.S. economy? Can you talk a little about your thoughts on that?
Well, I would say I don't see it so much as returning, but more of a back to the future.
Okay.
I think that what a gold standard stands for is monetary discipline for its own sake. That is, if money is supposed to be a unit of account and a reliable measure and a dependable store of value, it really shouldn't be subject to who's the chairman of the Federal Reserve. And I think that money needs to be stable and provide the foundation for productive economic growth. And when money is just a variable that financial markets toss around, or it's part of a derivatives formula, or it's part of someone speculating on currencies, it's not serving the private sector in the sense of providing that reliable unit of account so you can make plans. And under a gold standard, you did have that stability, and I think that's what's missing. And so I like the idea of a gold standard. I mean, it could be used in a very cryptocurrency way. Standard. I mean, it could be used in a very cryptocurrency way.
I love it, Judy Shelton. Let's hope you get a chance to actually be at the Fed and explore your ideas. Yeah, that is a beautiful clip there, no doubt about it. And hear from Dom from Easy A. Shout out to these guys. I don't know anybody who's working any harder than these two guys. Just had lunch with some of the biggest institutional investors here in Hong Kong. Think JP Morgan, BlackRock, etc. They see American-made crypto leading the way and will be deploying record amounts of new capital into U.S. in crypto. It says they're amazed at how fast U.S. is moving on crypto legislation, etc., and see it as a clear leader over the coming years. You betcha. And here we see the negative effect of such of that being shared out here, that Visa and MasterCard tanked on the stablecoin being a threat to their business model, and Amazon and Walmart and others exploring stablecoin payments right as the Genius Act clears the way. Stablecoins can slash fees by up to 85%, bypassing card networks and threatening billions in revenue. But stay with me here. Stay with me. Because MasterCard's already on top of this. This is the vice president of product development for MasterCard.
Number of different partners, Ripple, TBS, different companies around the world. In doing so, we're working with a number of different partners, Ripple, TBS, different companies around the number of different partners, Ripple, TBS, different.
There you have it. Now that's MasterCard. Don't feel too bad for them. They're already partnered with Ripple. And what do we know? Visa acquired Earthport and Currency Cloud, just for a record. But what's the idea of this? Ripple-enabled company that connects to RippleNet and could use XRP for cross-border payments. So now we got the two biggest payment providers, Visa and MasterCard, both tied into Ripple, directly and indirectly. And remember this? Isn't this the world taking shape now? Remember how long ago this diagram was in place? People said it was an old narrative. We had to come off of it. They're on the wrong side of history forever, and they can't take it back because they said it on the internet over and over and over for years. They're losers. That's the truth. They're losers. And you know what? Here it is. You see it all. It wasn't talked about for years because everything's been under NDA. And now that, as we have said time and time again, that U.S. legislation will be the catalyst to the crypto space and digital assets opening up for the internet .com era boom of crypto. And here we are seeing all of this come together. Every one of these exploring stablecoin options to get into the system. And that allows them to participate in this, ladies and gentlemen, where XRP will reside. Come on in. Yeah, I'm liking the way this is coming together. And you know what? Here is the other side of the coin here. Coinbase launches Coinbase Payments, a stablecoin payment stack for commerce platforms with instant 24/7 USDC transactions built on Base by Coinbase. Well, this is the exchanges getting into the payment world, ladies and gentlemen. This is the exchanges starting to dance inside of the finance world and banking. How long before we see checking and saving accounts at your local exchange? You telling me? Look, this is the biggest sign that we're going to get legislation for crypto all the way through. And the reason I believe that is because there's no way the banks are going to sit back and allow all these exchanges to start opening up and making payments for their customers, and the banks can't. That dog don't hunt at my house. This is getting real good. Like I said, shares of Circle soared 34% yesterday. It broke over $200 a share. And as a Circle holder, I can't wait for my lockout period to lift. I am winning like crazy, and I just hope the price holds till my lockout period unlocks. So shares soared 34% on Wednesday and added another 6% after hours. And as I said, of recent yesterday, it was up over $200. I say the .com era of crypto has begun, ladies and gentlemen. And you know what? To add to that, here's Ripple, Brad Garlinghouse talking probably a few years ago. But listen.
Does work with a number of central banks around the world. We publicly announced some of them. Does work with a number of central banks around the world. We publicly announced some of them. And we're in the phase of kind of testing, experimenting, and they're issuing their central bank issued digital currencies on the XRP ledger.
And you know what? And we know now today, most of those things are looking like stable coins, but there are CBDCs out here. And a reminder, a wave of new fiat-backed stable coins live on the XRP ledger, including USDC, the Singapore stablecoin, the 2 Europe stablecoins, EuroP and EuroCV, Real USD, USDB, right? And then the Brazilian Real, all of that is here, ladies and gentlemen. All of it. And soon it will all look just like, I believe, where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Right here. Soon it will be the world's money on here. All the money. Isn't that the way they say it? Then take this with you before you leave today. The DTCC, Chad Steingraber remarked that the XRP ledger is coming for DTC's $100 trillion fund. Yes, he's right. Because here you see Hidden Road, just recently acquired by Ripple, has become a new participant in the DTCC netting system. Read it and shout cheers of joy, ladies and gentlemen. There it is. New participant in the netting system of Government Securities Division, FICC, Hidden Road Partners. Bingo, right there. Yeah, we're inside the belly of the beast, ladies and gentlemen. And just in case you didn't know, the DTC celebrates record-breaking figures. Ripple is quietly positioning itself within this infrastructure. That is what's happening here today. That is what is going on while we wait for the rest of the legislation to pass. I can only imagine the level of involvement on the XRP ledger once all of this is done. By the way, if you don't know what netting is at the DTCC, it refers to the process of offsetting and aggregating multiple trade obligations, purchases and sales of securities between participants in a clearing system, resulting in a single net payment or delivery obligation for each participant per security. This reduces the total number of transactions and associated credit market and operational risks. That's what netting is, and Ripple's smack dab in the middle of it. And it's all getting touched on the XRP ledger. Come on in. Not financial advice from me or anyone else. We're going into the Freedom Zone today, and guess what? Rothschilds and war, the U.S., a corporation? Oh, we got it for you today. Click the link under any title at the join button or go in the description box and join us in the Patreon. Same perks, same price, same everything. 0 Google ads on all my daily videos and extra content to go with it. Again, not financial advice from me or anyone else. I'll catch all of you in the Freedom Zone. Come on in. All